Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family. Well, happy New Year to everyone out there.
Today we have Cowboy Chris, who is lately really embracing his cowboy heritage and is wearing his cowboy. That's not going to translate on audio. He just like flicked his hat.
Howdy.
Really embracing his cowboy heritage lately and wearing his cowboy hat a lot. In fact, even so much so that we're going to like redo his office, and his backdrop on Zoom is going to be some cowboy hats. I think it'll be cool.
I bought 2 new cowboy hats on Friday. I was at a roping competing, and bought a couple cowboy hats.
I thought you were going to say I bought 2 new horses, which you did do that also.
I bought 2 new horses recently, 2 new cowboy hats. Melissa doesn't know. Now she's going to know that I'm buying another horse this month that's coming down from Utah.
This is news.
It's a Happy New Year's gift to you, Melissa.
Oh, wonderful. We are definitely talking about this after this is over. I'm just kidding. I like Chris being able to do hobbies that he enjoys. And a little brief acknowledgement to Chris, he set some, it's a new year. He set some goals, some things he wants to do. One of which he wanted to get a few more cowboy hats. And he wanted to, so Chris participates in this rodeo event called team roping, and it's just for fun. What?
It's not just for fun. Just kidding.
It's not just a run. What I mean by that is like, it's not like you're competing like at a professional level. It's like a hobby and something that you love doing.
Yeah.
And he set a goal at the end of the year. There's so much in the cowboy world that I figured out after Chris and I got married. So at the end of the year, there's the rodeo finals, and they take place in Las Vegas every December. And the last, 15 years maybe, there's also like amateur roping finals that are happening at the same time in Las Vegas. Am I describing this correctly?
Professional and amateur, the same thing. But yeah, there's a huge finale every year in Vegas that you can qualify for, where you can rope for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, so Chris's goal this year is, since we've been to Hawaii, you haven't roped in Vegas, have you?
Once, I think.
Just once, okay. So he wanted to qualify to rope in Vegas. You just haven't been roping that much the last few years, but he made it a goal that he wants to qualify for Vegas. And, as of the day we were recording, it's January 7th, he already did it. He already got his 2 cowboy hats. He already qualified to rope in Vegas at this roping last weekend. He's slaying his goals this year.
Slaying my vision board. And what's funny is this exact style of cowboy hat I saw in a magazine when I was cutting out pictures for my vision board. And I was like, oh, I really like the style of that straw hat. It's like kind of unique. I don't see it really ever.
Yeah, it's cool. Kind of like vintagey to me.
Yeah, and I show up at the roping on Friday. And I was like, oh, they have a straw hat booth here, which usually they don't, because it's like a lot of work for someone to bring a full, tent and their booth and all their cowboy hats. They had it, and I walked up and I was like, right away, I was like, that's the exact hat I wanted.
There it was. You like manifested that there practically.
Yes.
So I guess before we dive in, we can talk about that for a second too. I hope you had an amazing New Year's. You guys have heard us talk about it. I think it's probably an ad that even ran before this very episode, depending on when you're listening to this. Talking about our New Year's kickoff that we do for families. It's this free download where we talk about how to do a vision boards for your family, like a cool approach that even little kids can do. Also, how to do like an award ceremony for your family, best of 2025 kind of award ceremony for your family. And also the other thing included in this download is how to like really review your past year and how to get like some really, really powerful takeaways from a few. There's like 10 questions on this page where you're looking back on 2025 and kind of structuring your future based on lessons you've learned in the past. That's one of the questions. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned, and what are some things you're looking forward to, etc. What else would you add to that?
Yeah, it makes it really. I think most people either know or feel like, oh, I wanna be really intentional about the coming year. I want to reflect on the year I just had. Like we know we should do that or we want to do that, but without a really simple system, it can seem overwhelming. So Melissa just created it and made it super easy. It's like if you go to familybrand.com/best, right?
Yeah.
You should get the whole thing. It's like it'll give you all the prompts of how to reflect on the year you just had, how to think about the year you want to have. And look, you can have the best year you've ever had. That's what's kind of cool about it. Every year could be the best year you've ever had if you're willing to do some reflection and some planning. So I've loved it. Our family's loved it. I've actually guided a lot of my clients through it just as a fun thing to do for them. We even do the same thing for our company. It's not just something we did as individually or as a family. We, as a company, the Possibility Company, we sat down with those same questions. We reflected on 2025, what worked, what didn't, highs, lows, lessons learned. And that really shaped our goals and our focus for 2026, which has a lot to do with actually what we want to talk about today. This one specifically is related to like couples though.
Yeah. And so it actually is a perfect segue. And I think these two conversations work hand in hand. So that's a cool activity that you could do with your kids that has been super meaningful to our family over the years. And I've been getting a bunch of text messages and people tagging me on Instagram just saying like, wow, this was really fun. So familybrand.com/best. You can find that. It's a free download. But then I feel like maybe the missing component here that we're going to talk about today is like an actual strategic plan, like for your family in the future, getting on the same page with your spouse and looking at the new year and how to do that, how to start the year off intentionally together as husband and wife on the same page.
Yeah, one of the things that Melissa and I talk about, and I think a lot of couples will say to us, is there's a lot of things that I want to do as a family or for my family or with my spouse. I don't though want to have to think about it. Like I have so many other things going on. I would just love something I can plug into or a system. And this is what Melissa created. And we followed it ourselves. Like Melissa has created this approach to planning for your family for the year. And we were going on a date. And Melissa told me literally right before the date, hey, I'm bringing our couples planning guide that I put together and we're just going to follow it. I'm like, great. She printed one out for me. She printed one out for her.
This was like 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah. We went to dinner and it was just so easy because it was like, oh, I don't have to think about this. I just have to follow the playbook. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a playbook to, Melissa calls it couples year-end planning playbook. Plan, reflect, and reconnect together. And that's what it was. And I would say it was fun. It was insightful. It was easy. And it was pretty fast. And yeah.
Fast enough that we went to dinner, right? Fast enough that we sat down, we're kind of working on it, ordered our food, kept working on it, kind of filled out the worksheet pages. And before, like right when our food was coming out to us, we'd filled out the worksheet pages. Chris and I did it individually, which is what I recommend. Print out 2 copies of this workbook, fill them out individually. And then as we were eating dinner, we kind of went through each little part of it and talked through it over dinner. So and the other funny thing is our server, she'd come to our table, multiple times to take our order, refill our water, etc. She, maybe the 3rd or 4th time coming to the table is like, she was like, I have to ask, like, what are you guys working on? And we were like, oh, it's this, explain it like we kind of just did. And she was like, where can I buy that? And she's like, I want that. And I felt kind of silly being like, well, I made it.
I am the author and the creator.
But I think that people desire, I don't know, there's something about the new year. You desire to how do I launch myself into this year? How do I create some momentum? And to your point, it is sometimes hard to like, you may be grasping for straws like, okay, but what do we do? Like, how do we do this? And so this couples planning playbook really is just print it out, fill it out, and it creates the conversations. It creates the structure for you. It makes it super easy. And it has you, as I alluded to a minute ago, I like it because although it is meant to be done as a couple, it really does give you clarity. There's some exercises in there that give you individual clarity on where you're at right now and where you want to go this year. Just like ranking yourself on one example, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel about my overall fitness and health right now? And really looking at that and being like, okay, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? And that's something that for a couple, I think then it's important to have that conversation together, because it's like, okay, how can I support you if you have some goals in your health? Because that does require more than one person sometimes. In fact, I was at the dentist today talking to my dentist, who's a friend, and his wife's amazing. Her name's Courtney. And she just became a personal trainer, and she's been really committed to her health and fitness this past few years. And I was asking her husband, like, how's that going? And he's like, well, it's going good, except for sometimes she goes to work out and I just have to eat ice cream. And so you have to communicate like, hey, I'm going to be at the gym. Will you handle dinner? Or, hey, will you handle bedtime? Or, hey, will you get the kids up for school? Can you support me in this? It really takes two people a lot of times to achieve not just health goals, but any goals you have for yourself. So that's why I love talking about it together.
Yeah, I really do think it helped get us get on the same page. Like, here's what's important to me, here's what's important to me, here's what's important to us. And these are conversations that I feel like every individual, every couple, every family wants to have. I don't think most people don't want to have these. Maybe occasionally, but pretty rare. So it's not from a lack of desire or lack of wanting to. It's just, if it's just like, hey, come together and talk about your year and reflect on the year you just had and what's important next year. It's just like, I don't even know where to start. But you don't have to think about it. Just like outsource it to this playbook. It's amazing.
And there is one question that I love that I wanted to maybe talk through or share with you here. That even if you don't download the playbook, I just want to give you a feel for like the type of question and conversations it can create for you. So yes, there's a conversation about where do I feel like I'm at with my health, but a deeper one that I feel like we spend the majority of our time on that night at dinner is this one. And the question is, well, it's a series of questions, but it says, if you have kids, take the time to talk about each one of them individually. How are they doing? How can you support them better? Is there anything you want them to learn in the coming year? And I felt like it was such a great opportunity to really step back. You know, we were out, just the two of us, and see where are each of our kids at right now? What do we hope that they learn this year? How's our relationship with each of them? How can it be improved? And, you know, I feel like we just get so busy that sometimes we don't really step back and look, okay, where are we missing the mark maybe, or where are we doing awesome with each kid individually? So that was a great opportunity, I feel like, for us.
Yeah, I think it's easy for really important things to get lost in the shuffle of life. And I would never want one of my children to get lost in the shuffle of life, obviously, and it's possible. But to take each individual kid one at a time, and be like, okay, how are they doing? And what's interesting too is sometimes you and your spouse may have a different experience of even that. You might be like, oh, they're doing great, and then one of you's like, oh, I don't think they're doing that great. So, oh, well, that would be important to talk about. You know, how can we support them more? How can we challenge them more? What is something we really want them to learn this next year? Because I do think, you know, one of the things that can be really like, look, raising a family, providing for a family, showing up to every area of your life, it is just wild, you know, it can be really challenging. If you add on top of that you and your spouse, on top of everything else that's going on in life, you're completely misaligned on your approach to your kids and what you want for them and how you're going to show up with that would, and I would like to believe, and I think I'm great. I would like to believe, and I'm grateful that I think that Melissa and I, for the most part, are usually very aligned on how our children are doing, what they're doing well, what they're struggling with, how we can support them, what we want them to learn. And that doesn't happen though by accident. I think what keeps us in alignment though is some regularity around talking about it. Like, hey, how's our family doing as a whole? That's a useful conversation. But then it's like diving into each individual child, like how are they doing right now? Because then look, how they're doing right now could be drastically different than how they're doing even 30 days from now. So that was really my experience of, just for what it's worth to sell you on it, my experience of the whole process was it was fun. And there were some parts like that were really, really insightful and really meaningful.
Thank you for that.
So, yeah. You'd be crazy not to do it. Like I said, I know Melissa said, well, even if you don't, download the playbook. Well, I'm just telling you right now. Download the playbook. familybrand.com/playbook.
Yes. When you were talking, it reminded me of something that happened recently with Chris and I that I think is hilarious. That it actually just happened last night. Over New Year's, we spend New Year's with our friends, the Smiths, no relation. And we kind of trade off. So this year we went to their house and they have a puppy. And the puppy was adorable. And
so cute. A little too cute.
A little too cute. And they have 3 dogs now. And
we already have 2.
Yeah, we have 2. And so our girls, who are 9 and 13, came home thinking, we need a dog. And so this is the funny part. So they're talking to Chris individually.
And I went out of town, so they used that to their advantage.
Yeah, and then they're talking to me individually. And so how they positioned this dog situation to me is, well, Mom, Dad said that he doesn't care if we have a dog.
No, like Dad wants one. Dad said he's fine with it.
And I was feeling like the mean parent, like, oh, I don't really want to.
And then unbeknownst to Melissa, they're calling me while I'm in Chicago out of town, like, hey, Mom says she wants a dog, and if you're okay with it, we can get a dog. And so then I'm like, no, like, authentically, I'm like, what the hell is Melissa doing? We don't need a 3rd dog. And Melissa's over there being like, what the heck is Chris thinking? We don't need a 3rd dog. And our kids are just working, both of us, like magicians, like.
And so sometimes.
So then last night we go on a walk. Here's the funny part.
Yeah.
And Indy, as we're leaving, our youngest is like, or one of our daughters, as we're leaving the house, goes, will you please talk about the dog on the walk? It's really important to me. And she shuts the door and I hear it and I'm like, Melissa, there's nothing to talk about. What are you doing? We're not getting another dog. And she's like, what are you doing? You're the one who... Come to find out, we're both like, oh, we're just getting worked. We're getting worked by our kids. Like, no, we're not getting a dog.
And the point in telling that story...
It's actually hilarious.
We're not getting a dog. Another dog, a 3rd dog, is... Sometimes I think that's an analogy for sometimes what it feels like when you're like in the middle of a day-to-day life with the family. It's like you're running, I don't know, you're just running separately. So to be able to come together and get on the same page is invaluable.
And had you and I not talked, there's seriously a high likelihood one of us would have come home with a dog. And then at that point it's too late. And then we'd have had the dog and be like, well, I got it because you wanted it. It's like, well, no, we got it because you wanted it. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. Well, now we have a dog and we can't.
Now we have a dog.
It is a funny analogy, but it's just 10
years.
Yeah. It's like sometimes we have to create forcing functions to be on the same page. It's like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? It's like, I don't know. What are you thinking?
So go buy the thing. Save yourself.
Yeah. Go get the playbook. It'll keep you from unnecessary puppies and other things around your house.
Okay, wrap us up here.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like, look, it's so easy as families to start to have this experience of life, like the tail's wagging the dog. It's like we're just like chasing our tail all the time. And not that that's not going to be the reality sometimes. And you can, to some degree, take control of your family, take back your family, get on the same page. And this is a really simple way to do it.
Thank you. Did you work that dog analogy in there and for risk because we were just talking about dogs?
No, but it just happened. It meant to be.
That was magic. Okay. Happy New Year.
All right. So that is it for today's episode of the Family Brand Podcast.
But before you go, we have something fun for you.
Yeah. Like if you've ever wondered, okay, so how's our family culture actually doing? We've got an incredible quiz for that.
Good news, it's quick, it's free, and when you're done with that quiz, we'll even email you this awesome PDF full of practical ways to strengthen your family culture right away.
So all you have to do is go to familybrand.com/quiz, take the quiz, grab the PDF.
We'll see you next time.